We're live. This is Paul DeWarian from Awesome Dynamic. Welcome to the Awesome Dynamic webinar, or as I like to call it, the Awesome Dynamic Show. I'm coming to you from the beautiful Round Lake Park, Illinois, where it is rainy and 40 degrees, some of my favorite weather of all time. And that's, of course, sarcastic. With me, I have Terry, Robin, and Blake. Blake may not be able to introduce himself, so if we get to Blake and he's not able to talk, I will introduce him. So Terry, please go ahead.
Well, hello, everybody. Terry Levin, the Director of Sales with Awesome Dynamic, coming to you from beautiful Vernon Hills, Illinois. Same weather, unfortunately, that Paul was talking about. And here is Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin, coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. And I do the SEO, which is search engine optimization. And here's Blake.
And Blake, still no audio, so I'll talk for Blake. Blake's coming to us from Buenos Aires, Argentina, where I imagine the weather is probably better than it is here. He's given us the A-OK, but we don't know exactly what that means. But Blake is having some microphone issues with his computer, which he's working on resolving now, but he'll certainly take the show notes as he usually does. Terry, you've been introing our services the last couple times, right?
Yes.
Okay, Robin, you want to, just to mix things up, tell us about what Awesome Dynamic does, and while that happens, I'm going to share my screen and put the Awesome Dynamic website up. Unless you got it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll bring up your screen then, Robin.
All right. Awesome Dynamic Tech Solutions. So we offer 4 different services. Responsive web design, which is getting your website updated to today's standards and making sure that it works on a mobile-friendly device. So people are increasingly looking on their mobile phone for purchases and to view your website, so it's very important to get your website into this century. And then we have search engine optimization. That's what I specialize in. It's once you have your website up and running, now we need to promote it. So that's what I do. I promote your website across different search engines, especially Google has most of the market. So we have a ton of different techniques, over 200 things that we do to make sure that you stay at the top of Google and not your competitors. Then we have Amazon Seller Consulting. And if you have a product that you want to do well on Amazon, we are the guys to go to. A lot of people think you can just throw a product up on Amazon and it's going to start selling. You can, but to start selling with the best results, you definitely want to meet with us to promote anything that you're selling on Amazon. And then we also have Google Street View. So we do it's like a virtual tour of the inside of your place. So if you have a business that you want to be online, we're actually certified by Google, and we take a video of the inside of your facility. So if you have a place where customers come in, such as like a restaurant or a shop, it's definitely putting you ahead of your competitors if you get this video uploaded to your Google My Business page.
Fantastic, Robin. Thank you. Blake, is your audio working? You want to try saying something real quick? Maybe not. I thought I heard his keyboard going there in the background. Wait, there might be something there.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Blake. Okay, I was right. I did hear you type.
Drivers have been reinstalled, and yes, you were correct.
Okay. I'm going to flip back to my screen for a moment here. Let me make sure that I'm sharing the correct screen. Let's see here. We have some folks that have signed up for the webinar that may actually be joining us currently, and that is Carol Stitt from the, we know her through the Fox Lake Chamber of Commerce. The Printing Factory, a gentleman from the Printing Factory in Mundelein had joined us several webinars ago. I also see Holly Meeks, and isn't Holly with Lake Forest Open Lands? Is that right, Terry?
That is correct, sir.
All right, so Holly signed up to be with us. And then we also have Lars Rasmussen with the GLMV who might also be joining us as well. So if you're, and we also have a maybe for Paul Katz here. So if any of you are with us currently, you're able to chat with us using the question and answer box that's on the left side of Google Hangouts, if you have that open. Otherwise, if you go to the Awesome Dynamic homepage, we also have a chat box set up there. And Blake, are you monitoring that chat box for us?
Yes, sir.
And if somebody puts a question through, please let us know. And Blake, just because you have a little echo there in the background, if you wouldn't mind muting in between, that would be fantastic. But in this little chat box here, you're able to type in your name, and then all of a sudden you'll be able to chat between us. Chat here. And then we'll have a chat conversation right here. So you're able to communicate with us through this on our homepage at awesomedynamic.com, or if you're joined in through the Hangouts, which you can click this button to get into, use that little question and answer. We'll be able to answer any questions for you. The reason why we do these webinars is for a few reasons. Number one, it's to help you with your online presence. So if you have questions about how to get better found on Google, how to improve your website to convert more visitors into leads, how to get in front of your competitors for particular key terms, we can answer those questions for you. We also have recently we've been doing 2 featured businesses on the webinar each week. And what are our 2 businesses that we're featuring this week, Terry?
We are going to be talking to Holly about the Lake Forest Open Lands Association. I think more in terms of her Google pages and some of her issues that she's having with that. And then we are also talking about Advantage Material Handling.
So those are our 2 featured businesses of the week. And with Advantage Material Handling, I know we're going to do a website critique, take a look at a few things that are online. I'm sure Robin, if she hasn't already, is preparing some of the different evaluation tools for Advantage Material Handling to evaluate their online presence. And then for the Open Lands, we have the Google My Business listings. Holly actually attended our Google Get Your Business Online GYBO event in Lake Bluff, Illinois, just a week ago, and had a whole bunch of questions about some issues there. So she's attending the webinar to ask some of those questions. I also saw a question pop up from the printing factory, but then it disappeared. So I did see your question come in, and then I saw it quickly leave. So if you would, please put that question through. Terry, would you mind looking up that gentleman's name again, unless you remember off the top of your head?
Not as typically who we have on from there, John. Petrovsky, I believe. Sorry about that.
All right, John, right?
Yes, John.
Okay, very good. And if any of you are watching the webinar and not interacting with us, apparently that's called lurking. You're lurking in the webinar. We'd like you to interact with us. So please introduce who you are, what company you're with. We'd love to give you a shout out here on the webinar as well. All right, so why don't we get started with we'll start with Advantage Material Handling here, only because this is kind of our typical review of the site here. And I'd like to start out with the first impressions like we always do. Terry, would you mind giving it a shot with what
Sure.
you see here? Impressions?
Absolutely. All right, so for me right away, I always look for a call to action, which I don't really see one. I mean, they have a contact us, but not really any call to action button. I like to see a big one. I have no name, address, phone number up top, which I always like to see. We are a few years behind on our copyright, which is something we always like to make sure is current because it makes the business look live and viable and not closed. Sometimes that's a concern of people. And I know they have there's no content on here at all, really, as far as what they're about or anything. The pictures, the slideshow, most of the pictures I think are pretty good. The one I'm seeing right now doesn't really tell me by itself what I'd like to see about what they are, but the other ones seem to do a good job of that. Also know that this is not mobile friendly, which is my big concern as well, as Robin mentioned earlier, typically averaging about 60% plus on searches on tablets or phones, and this one's going to give us some issues when we do that. So that's my opening thoughts on there.
All right, and here I'm squishing the website down to see what happens when I get to a mobile size, and that's where we don't see that it is responsive there. Robin, you want to tell us your first impressions?
Sure, I like the size of the logo. It's very large, and this is like the fold where you can see above the fold. If I scroll down, anything below that is below the fold. So you describe what the company does without having to scroll down. I would say to the slideshow, the pictures are great. I think it just needs a little bit of text maybe overlaid above it so that we know that we don't hire you to do the work. You're selling us the equipment. So you could say buy high quality equipment above there. This is a little bit off center, which makes your website look like it's a little bit less professional, and it's not really in bold. So that you want this to stand out. The thing that stands out is your logo, which is great, but you also want people to know where to go. It's missing like a phone number up here, so if you want someone to contact you right off the homepage, they can't. They have to go through here and then look around here. Then it's really small right here, and it's not clickable. So if they're on a mobile device or even on a phone on the computer, they can't contact you as easily. You have to make it easy for them to contact you. Yeah, you need about 1,500 words on the homepage. So right now you only have about 100, maybe less, and that's so that Google can recognize who you are. Even if no one reads it, just put it on there. 2013 is your copyright date, so this is not supposed to be your established date. This is the copyright date should be updated on January 1st every year. So this should say 2016. Right now it looks like you're out of business for 3 years. But yeah, it's a clean, professional looking site.
Very good, Robin. Coming back, I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things. That homepage slideshow really needs to tell the story of um, what the website is about and what the company is about. And this particular slide that I see here, I see wheels, and I would assume that they're forklifts because I have already seen forklifts. But this picture by itself, what is the story that's supposed to be told by here? Is it we have a variety of equipment meeting any kind of forklift need that you might have? Is that what I'm supposed to be getting from this? I don't understand what story this picture is supposed to tell me. Taking a look at this one, when I first saw this picture, I see, okay, great, I see a piece of equipment in use, but immediately just seeing all the boxes and racks and everything there, my mind, without having any sort of guidance with overlaid text, my mind immediately jumps to, oh, this is a fulfillment service. I can hire them and they'll stock my product on their warehouse shelves and take care of fulfillment for me. Which when I explored your website further, that isn't what you do. But that's what this picture tells me, without any sort of guidance or guidance text that says we have forklifts that meet every need. And then just by saying that quick little snippet of text there, it really helps you understand that you're selling the forklift, not the fulfillment service, which is the impression that I get from this photo without any sort of guidance there. Getting over to this picture, same kind of thing. I see another forklift here. I see pallets with boxes on them, but I'm not getting the idea that okay, this is what I'm buying. I'm not buying the service.
Or even just forklifts, kind of like a car sales lot, like forklifts with price tags on them would portray it a little better.
Yeah, I mean that just by itself, without any words,
Or for
would
sale.
immediately. Yeah. So just an idea of how important that story is told through these pictures is very, very important, and you have 3 to 5 seconds to communicate that story. So when we come to the homepage and I don't see that story right away, I don't know what it is your company does very, very quickly, and I have to, even by reading this, Advantage Material Handling Inc. is a leading international wholesaler specializing in quality used material handling equipment. AMH buys. I'm like, okay, it gives me kind of, I'm like, what is material? I see forklifts. I don't know what other material handling equipment might be. Obviously, if I dig deeper and I take a look at your inventory, I can see all these different items that are here. This looks like it's embedded from some other service. And we can see that it opens up in a new window, and this is kind of a interesting experience, but it doesn't necessarily allow me. It doesn't make me feel like I'm on the same website, and then I notice that I'm not. So maybe putting some of this in your existing website would make it feel like I'm on the correct website, and and that obviously would take some work to get all that built into the site with kind of an e-commerce platform. But then you're able to really have all of it on your website and actually rank for all these different things. Because right now, all these different forklifts that are on here, they're going to rank on eliftTruck.com, not on your website, because they're not individual pages on your site with these different items that you have. So that's an important thing to note as well. Let's take a look. Very simple. So home, about us, inventory. I want to go back to the inventory for a moment just to see what types of products we have. So we have, let's see, Crown Electric. Are these? I'm assuming these are all forklifts.
I believe so.
Material handling. So, just that idea of material handling equipment is the theme that I'm getting from how you talk about your product and what you're selling. But I wonder how many people are searching for material handling equipment rather than just forklift. So, or other words that might be searched. And that's where the importance of keyword research comes in. If people are searching for material handling equipment, then that would be important to have on your site. I go to read more here. 20 years experience handling the industry, committed to assisting customers with their material handling needs, providing reliable professional service, second to none in the industry. Large variety of forklifts to fit most material handling needs. So I get the impression that most of what you're selling is forklifts, and I get the idea that most people would be searching for forklifts. So, but I do sense there's an avoidance of the word forklift. So there might be a huge missed opportunity to kind of customize more of your content around the word forklift than what you have right now. Terry, do you have any comments on that based on what I said?
Well, no, I mean, I think that that would be something that Scott is the gentleman that we were speaking with here, that we would have to talk to him about the forklift, because it seems like a natural to us. I don't know if there's a reason that he is heading in that different direction, but he is, his concern is definitely SEO and keywords and that kind of thing is the reason that he ended up reaching out to us in the first place. So definitely we want to talk about those issues specifically for him.
Okay. I'm just searching material handling equipment here, and you guys come up prominently locally, which is good. But I would expect that because you're local to here, and material handling equipment. We'll just see how competitive that keyword is. I imagine it might not be that competitive. 705,000, so fairly competitive. But I just want to take a look at, okay, well, what does Grainger consider material handling equipment? What kind of photography and information do they present under material handling? So Grainger says, help you efficient and productive. We have everything you need to move, store, and ship. You need pallet trucks, replacement conveyor belt. You will find them here. You need wire shelving cabinets or boxes. They're here too. Check Grainger first for all your material handling needs. So I didn't get the impression from looking at the AMH website that they did wire shelving cabinets, boxes, conveyor belts. And so if they do that, Grainger's doing a great job of communicating that to me right now, at least in the paragraph there. And as I take a look at the different boxes, I don't see one forklift here, and maybe that is kind of what they sell. But we see a lot of other things. Here's one forklift. It seems like material handling in general, according to Grainger, is much more broad than only forklifts. So let's take a look here. Material handling according to Northern Tool and Equipment. Again, we have a forklift, but we have a lot of other related materials here. See what that means to Harbor Freight. We have some dollies. Again, other types of products. And then Amazon. Just see what Amazon here. So they have shelving, storage, carts and trucks, pulling, lifting. So these larger industries are using that terminology, but they're presenting a lot of other different types of products. So that's where if your product line is comprehensive, all these different things, then pursuing the material handling keyword probably would be appropriate, and we have to let people know when they get to your site that you do have a broader range of products. But if it's mostly forklift type products, it might be wise to customize the keywords around that so we get found for what we're trying to get found for.
And
So
especially the word used forklifts.
yeah, and
Because
maybe
that's really the difference between Granger and you guys is you're selling used equipment, they're selling new equipment.
right, or refurbished or pre-owned. Like how Lexus calls them not used cars but pre-owned. Pre-owned Lexuses. But the key is, and it's interesting that you bring that up, Robin. We did some work for a nursing home, but they didn't want to use the word nursing home. But the problem is the majority of the public, when they have an event in their parents' lives and they need to put their parent in a place, they use the word nursing home, and they say, well, it's assisted living, or it's it's this or it's that, or in-home nursing care, or provided nursing care, whatever the words were that they want to change the perception. I said, well, even though that's what you want to call it, that doesn't mean that's what everybody else is calling it. If you're serious about getting traffic in, we need to call it a nursing home, but we can guide them once they get to the page about how it's not just a typical nursing home with a bad connotation. It has all these advantages, and this is how we're different than your typical nursing home that you might think of. So, kind of going after what the public is doing and searching is an important concept to go after. I want to pause for just a moment here and mention that we do have Holly asked a question. She said, this is Holly. I have an address for all our preserves now. Just got them today. Just need phone numbers now. So we'll address that in a moment, Holly. Just want to let you know we see that. Second, I see that John from the printing factory said my comment disappeared again, but I see your comment that says my comment disappeared again. So if you post your comment, hopefully I'll see it in there. So please post that for us. All right, let's get back to, let's see, I saw something in the chat there. Okay. What else can we, Robin, did you run some numbers on the material handling through PageSpeed Insights and such?
Yes.
Okay, I'll share your screen and you can show us that.
Okay, we can see your scores through here. Let's start with this one first, mobile friendly test. Basically, you just Google search mobile friendly test and this comes up. And then I just put in your URL and it's like a pass-fail, either you're mobile friendly or you're not. These are the reasons why you're not mobile friendly. The text is too small to read, the mobile viewport is not set, and links are too close together. That means that when people come to your desktop site, it's easy to click on with a mouse, but if they're clicking with their finger's too big to click on these tiny links, and they might be accidentally clicking on another link. The text needs to be larger on mobile, and then the mobile viewport is not set. What's that, Paul?
The mobile viewport, that means that the browser or how you set up your website can tell the device what size the website should be. So that's kind of what makes the website respond
so it works on
to the
all
different devices in a responsive website. Right.
All right, and then here we have more specifically, PageSpeed Insights is another free tool from Google. So I just typed in your URL here, and then it gives you a score. So your mobile score is 65 out of 100. Your desktop score is 85 out of 100. You can see that on here, as opposed to Paul and my monitor, the fold is ending here before those 3 paragraphs that you have underneath. So on smaller monitors or maybe laptops that are smaller, people are not seeing that underneath there, so they're relying 100% on the slideshow. Maybe making the slideshow a bit smaller, having the text move up a little bit would be advantageous. But let's just go ahead and look at your mobile. Okay, so it tells you specifically how big the font should be to meet Google's minimum requirements. If you don't do this stuff, you are at risk of having a penalty. So if you let's say you're ranking on page 1 of Google today, they scan your site and see that you're not meeting their minimum expectations. Well, you can now get either dropped off of Google completely or put back on a page really far behind, and to recover from those penalties is going to take a long time if you even can. So it might be worth it to invest now in fixing your website and mobile site and making it responsive rather than later and get all of those penalties and fall way behind. All right, the size tap targets appropriately. That just means you got to space out these links more on mobile than you would on a desktop, and making it mobile friendly will take care of that and making it responsive, because if you have pictures here, like it'll stack all the pictures on top of each other. That's just one example. But then other things you need to fix are how fast it loads. If your website is not loading at about a second, which we can see over here on GT metrics. Okay, so you have a good page load speed time. It's 0.6 seconds. There's a few things you can improve over here, which are more technical things, but overall, your website's loading fast. If it doesn't load fast, people will click off of it, resulting in a high bounce rate. So,
and the overall theme, Robin, here is Google's not hiding what you need to do to fix some different items on your website. Is that right?
yes, see, like right here, it tells you exactly where to go and what to fix. So all you have to do is tell your web developer, can you fix these specific things? And they should be able to fix that for you. For example, the images. Some of your images are too large, and it's affecting your load time, and in turn, that affects how you rank on Google. So all of these specific images, like for example, this one's in the footer, this one's in the slider, so it could be something in the slideshow here. These need to be reduced by this amount. So if you don't reduce those, you could get a penalty. So again, this is just called Page Speed Insights, and it tells you, Google tells you exactly what you need to do.
Now, Robin, can you pull up that pie chart for a moment? The one that we
Sure.
always reference that has the reasons why you rank on Google. So what Robin was just showing you on the screen is only part of the reason. It's not, if you fix those things, you're not going to rank #1 right away. If you look at this pie chart, these are the pie chart in 2015, all the different reasons why you rank on Google. And we can see that the third item on the left column says on-page signals. What she was just showing you is a portion of that 20%. So fixing the page speed, fixing the leverage browser caching, the fact that you have a mobile responsive site, all those things are part of that on-page signals. And there's a lot more that goes in there, which is like the keyword optimization, on-page optimization, making sure the images are named correctly. I mean, there's hundreds of little factors that go into it, into all of this whole SEO thing. But I just wanted to mention that these tools that Robin used to evaluate the sites are neat free tools that give you some actionable items right away that you can address with your web developer. But in the grand scheme of all the things that need to be done, it's a portion of the pie. So there's a lot of things that could be done. Robin, did you have any other particular items to focus on for Advantage material handling?
Just the basics of checking there.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so the way you check if you're actually on Google Maps, because that's the only way you're going to show up on the Google local results is if you are on Google Maps and you need to claim your business listing. It's just like any other business listing out there, like if you have a Facebook page or a page on Yellow Pages or a page on Yelp, this is the exact same thing, but this one is the most important one to have. So I go to gybo.com, which stands for Get Your Business Online. It'll automatically put you in the city that you're in. I'm in Chicago right now. But what you can do is press this green button that says Check My Business. And then you put in your business name. So we can just take it from here. And then we paste it in there, and we can see that it pops up. If it doesn't pop up, you can go to this Not Showing Up button. But I can see that it pops up here. It says your business info might be incorrect on Google. All right, so it looks like you haven't verified that you're the owner, which means anyone out there can try and claim this listing. And the other disadvantage of not verifying your listing is that it's not going to pop up as high on local listings. You can't add your info right now. And then the other disadvantage is that if you have a bad review, you can't respond to it, or even if you have a good review. All right, so claiming this is extremely important. Okay, so it says verify your business info, and then here's the instructions on how to verify it. Usually it's a postcard that gets sent in the mail. Sometimes you have the option of a phone call. Just last week, this went to a different screen, but now it goes to the instruction screen here. An alternative way to do this is just going to maps.google.com, or the other way, it's also called google.com/maps, and just type in your business name, and then you'll see everything popping up here. So you can see that if not everything's correct here, anyone can go to suggest and edit, even your competitors, and put in the wrong data for you. So if you don't have this verified, your page, I mean, competitors can say you're closed all the time.
That wouldn't be good.
Right. So you definitely want to, and then when someone Googles you, it's going to look like you're closed or out of business. They can mark it as permanently closed location, and then you're out of business and off the map. So you definitely want to follow these instructions and get verified.
I got a couple other comments. So the Gaibo did not find them right away. Is that right, Robin? The Gaibo tool?
No, it did find them.
Oh, it did find them. Well, I searched them in plus.google.com, and I found that they have one local page here, and they have 1, 2, 3 brand pages here. So we have some dilution of how many pages here. This kind of happens if you create a YouTube channel. Yeah, it's not exactly straightforward sometimes how to create a listing the correct way, but even I wanted to mention this because this is the local listing here, and I see this really well put together slide that represents your business. When I see this right away, I think forklifts. I think it right away when I see this, and I don't get that from your homepage. So I mean, this is a huge.
Yeah, and that tagline right there is at the bottom of your products page that you can't even see it. This is right out in front.
Right. So I really like how this slide looks on this. But anyway, it does look like your page is verified. That's why we have the little shield, the check mark here, and we can see that some of the information is filled out. But definitely a lot of optimization opportunities here as we click through and look at what you have. All right, Terry, do you think we should move on and see if we can help Holly out?
Yeah, just a couple of things I wanted to say real quick on this. I mean, first of all, of course, we can help Scott with any of these issues with the pages, cleaning them up, but he also might benefit from coming to one of our Gaibo. We have several local ones in the works or coming up that he might want to check out. The other thing, when you did the Google search for the material handling at the beginning, I think noted that there was no stars showing up for him, so we definitely want to work with Scott to talk about getting Google reviews and get the 5 reviews needed to get the stars to show up on there, because I think that would be a big boost for him, and nobody else seems to have them there. So
right.
Another way that he could easily start getting more calls right away.
Absolutely. So you see right here in the local search result, material handling equipment, I see, we see a couple other folks coming up, but if you were the one, even though you're third here and statistically you're the 42%, 12%, 8% engagement on each of these different items going from top to bottom. If you have the gold stars here, this makes a huge difference in if someone's going to call you. Let's just see what happens when I search web design in Libertyville. Okay, so we were coming up in the first. We're working on making sure that we're coming up here. But you see, if you look at these results here, when these two pop up into that first 3, Awesome Dynamic and our partner, Fieldrolly Graphics, we're going to be the ones that get that first phone call. But even looking at these first 3, the first one I'm going to call potentially is going to be this Net Solutions. So it's important to get in there, and we're right behind. We're 1 behind getting in there. So we're going to start getting those phone calls as soon as we get in there with the 53 5 stars. But good point, Terry. Let's move on. I have a few items here in the questions here, so I want to address those. So John from the Printing Factory says, The link from the email originally did not connect to the right webinar page, but it did later after it started. So, John, if you have any specific questions, I'm glad you're joining us. If you have any specific questions, please post those here, and we will definitely be able to address that question for you. And Holly, we're moving on to the Lake Forest Open Lands. Let's pull up your site here and get rid of some of these tabs. So this is your website here, and I know our mission here isn't to evaluate your website, but I just wanted everyone to be able to see it. This is at lfola.org. This is their website, and they have several different properties where they, and we can see them here, are your nature preserves, and we can see that. I'm going to open them up. Is actually quite small and hard to read, so that's maybe a note for your web developer. But here are the different preserves that they have. But the problem is when Holly was at our event, our Gaibo event, Get Your Business Online event, we were talking about how each of these different properties would benefit from having their own Google listings on Google, so people could know, well, what are the benefits? I mean, each of these different pages on your website talk about, here's the West Skokie Nature Preserve. Here's the Skokie River Nature Preserve. Here's the Middle Fork Farm Nature Preserve. And each of these have different benefits and different things you could do at each one of them. There might be different trails. There might be, who knows, kayaking rentals available. There might be all sorts of different things, but you can't really promote each of them, and people can't use their navigation to get to them unless they actually have a physical point on the map to be able to do that. So the challenge that Holly has is that these types of places usually don't have an address, and we found that out when we've done a little bit of work with the Grays Lake Park District, and I think Holly mentioned that when she called, she found out that the address for each of these was 0 on the road that it was on. So, for example, this one's on Waukegan Road, and they would tell, oh, your address is at 0 Waukegan Road. So she had reported to us that she has addresses. I have addresses for all of our preserves now. Just got them today. So I'm wondering, Holly, did you contact the fire department? Did you work with the post office? No, that was part of our discussion the other day. I'd be interested to know exactly how you did that so we can help other folks. And then she said she just needs phone numbers now. And Holly, we can actually use the same phone number for all the different preserves. It's not the best situation in the world, but it will allow us to proceed with getting this done. And you can go back and change the phone numbers. The reason why it's important to have different phone numbers is if you're serious about getting each one of them ranked individually for different keyword search terms, having a different phone number and address for each location is going to be critical. Anyway, she did send over her username and password, and I did log into our account. I went to business.google.com and logged in with her information, and she's already got 2 different listings in here. And we can see that one of them is this 350 North Waukegan Road, and this is for the main business, the Lake Forest Open Lands Association. And then we also see there's another one here, Lake Forest Open Lands Association at 272 East Deer Path Road in Lake Forest. And we have a managed location on both of these. I think, if I recall, one of them is closed, and the other one is let's see here.
The 272 Deer Path is no longer their current address.
Okay. So there's actually some rhetoric in the SEO community, and they have told us that the formal position is we want to mark this location as closed. The only problem is sometimes it can still come up on the map and say that you're closed permanently without saying, hey, there's another location down the road here. But there is the option of also having these 2 combined and having them combined into the one listing. Robin, I think you've done that once or twice before. Is that right?
Yeah, the other option is to just permanently delete that page, but then you can't have control of it if something pops up.
Right. So you think maybe we should do a merge here would be the best situation?
You can try, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be good as well. Let's see. Oh, Holly's saying a couple things here. So Holly says 272 is the old office. Haven't been there for 5 to 6 years. Wow, that's a long time for it to still be on there. And then our new director of land management used to work at the city of Lake Forest, and he got the address through the city office. So you got some connections there. That's nice. All right, so Robin, do you know what the first step is? I mean, they're constantly moving things around here. Do we know what the first step is to getting these merged?
It looks like it defaulted back to Google Places here.
Okay.
So it used to be Google Places, then Google Plus, then now it's Google My Business. So it looks like these haven't been touched in a while, which is why it's defaulting back to this screen. So you could just go in the old one and see if there's an option there.
Let's see here. Let me go.
Mark permanently closed there on the right.
Go back into this one. Mark permanently closed, so we can do this. And then we have the option. It's still managed under our account, but then we have the option to merge those two.
See that reconfirm location? You might be able to do it there.
Don't see your business. All right, and this, if we can't find it on here, usually our next step is to contact Google support and say these two need to be merged.
Yes, we can do that. So you would go to the support page.
Let me go back.
And I think Holly had said that she had tried previously to take care of this, but they kept wanting to send some kind of verification to the address she was no longer located at to confirm the change.
Right.
Why she was running into this problem.
It might be. I don't think we even. She said she did mark the location closed, but it still shows up, is what she's saying here. So, and I don't think we really got into the specifics about how they can be merged. So she didn't know that she could contact Google to say, "Hey, merge these two."
Well, let's try and verify the correct one then. Under managed
well, it says
location.
published, but let's see.
But it doesn't say verified.
Okay, update your business.
So it says up at the top, usually.
It says verified here. So yeah, this one's definitely verified. So I would say, based on this information, we should definitely contact support and ask them to merge these two listings. But what I'm going to do first is get information about the two ready to go for my support ticket that I'm going to submit. So the thing that they really want is the Google. What we find works well is the Google Plus URL. So, and the way that looks, I'm going to go back to Advantage Material Handling here. We see that the Google Plus URL is plus.google.com/a whole bunch of numbers. And to get that out of here, we can click on Manage Location. And then if I hit Edit, I'm going to get a little link down here that says Google Plus. And this gives me the public-facing side of the Google Plus. So what I'll be able to do, no thanks, is grab this URL here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in my handy notepad. And this is the one I think we want to keep, yes. Main. All right, and then I'm going to go into the other one and note the URL for that one. Oh, by the way, I looked at that one. It's also missing some pictures and stuff. So it's interesting. They're saying that there's a problem with the data. Please update it. We'll come back to that and see if we can address that in a moment. Let's finish this. So we'll manage this location. I'll hit Edit and come down here, grab the Google Plus URL. Here it is. All right. So I'm going to come back here to the main screen, and we're going to do support. And we have several options here. If I hit phone, it's going to ask me my phone number, and it's going to call me right away, which we're not going to do right now. So what we're going to do is email. What is my name? My name is Holly. What's Holly's last name?
Meeks, M-E-E-K-S.
M-E-E-K-S. The name of your business. And let me go back here and copy it. Just a moment. Lake Forest Open Lands Association. Would you like a Google representative to reply by emailing or calling you? Let's do email so we get it all documented. We also have a guy that works at Google that can intervene and help us with some of this stuff too. So if we have it all documented, that'll help. What is the official email address used to manage this location on Google? And that one is the one I logged in with, so I'm going to go ahead and paste that here. What is the problem you're experiencing? Let's see, verification, bulk verification, business, can't find my business. We have an other problem. All right, describe your problem. We have 1,000 characters, and we're going to keep this fairly simple. I need, there is a duplicate listing of my business on Google. The main business is here. Post the good URL. And the duplicate listing is here. I marked duplicate listing as closed, but I don't want it showing up on map. Please merge this listing.
I think you have the same URL.
Do I? You're right. Good catch.
So it's already merged.
No. I flubbed on my copy and pasting.
Okay.
Glad you caught that, Terry. I marked the duplicate listing as closed, but I don't want it showing up on the map. Please merge this listing into my main correct listing. I'm going to iterate.
I would probably say we moved, 5 years ago.
We moved from our So Holly, what's going to happen here when I submit this? Automatically include a screenshot of your current page? Sure. So this way they can actually see this when I have that box checked.
It's possible they won't do anything because that's their current solution, is just to mark that one permanently closed and have the other one open.
But if we're patient and persistent, we should be able to get them to do something. Usually it's the persistence. So we can give this a shot. Let's see here. We moved from our original location 5 years ago, so I'm going to go ahead and click send. All right, thank you for your request. So now, Holly, you have to wait. So now when they get back to you, you're going to be ready to, you'll be at the point where they should get back to you and say something about how they're not able to merge it right now. These support requests go to different areas of the country depending on the time of the day. So if they're submitted at night, they go to folks in India. If they're during the day, they go to folks here. So
it's usually 3 business days, but you'll get the response not on your regular email, but in this specific Gmail account. So the way you check if there's a response is you sign in, like how Paul signed in here, but then open up a new tab that says gmail.com, and then you have to sign into your account.
Right, and this might be a Google Apps account or something, so they should be emailing info@lfola.org. So if this will forward through to that, you should be seeing that email come through there. While we have this one open, I wanted to take a look at the category here. We have a little error here, so let's see what that's all about really quick.
Yeah, so that means that, okay, I've had this come up before where the category is, sometimes they change the categories. There's around 200, maybe 500 categories that Google has. So you can't just type in a category, you have to choose from the drop-down list. If it's the primary category, I've seen it where that changes. You have to pick a new primary category, and then you also have to re-verify. So if we take this one off, we might have to re-verify. So let's try taking that off and then save. Okay, it looks like it's not making us re-verify because it would pop up at the top where that yellow box is. But we can't see how it says pending. Okay.
Yeah. It also says at the top here, click submit at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and click submit and see if it takes away the verification. And normally if you change your address, phone number, or business name, it's going to ask you to re-verify. So it looks like it's stayed verified, which is good. But so now to fill this out, you want to fill this out 100% so that you rank better on Google Local Maps. So let's go ahead and check what's missing. So we have the business name, address, contact info, and that marker should be in the right spot. If it's not, you can change it. You can
Let's
move it
take a quick
around.
look.
And if it's something like a forest preserve, you want it to be where the parking lot is,
Yes, and
where the
in
entrance
fact,
from the road. Yeah.
yeah, and I remember doing this with Holly. We actually moved it from all the way down this road here, back in here. We moved it up to the road so the GPS will tell people to turn in here rather than get out of their car and walk over there. So,
Okay.
so we did. I remember doing that with Holly.
All
Uh,
right.
see, 8 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Ooh, look at this. They actually linked some of this diverse landscapes. I see a misspelling on commitment, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that for you right there. School. Good. Look at this. She's linking, deep linking into the different pages.
Okay, great.
This is a very nice description with links, which is excellent. Very good job. I just here's another misspelling here. I'll fix that one. Highly unique nature landscapes. Okay, so we got that misspelling fixed. So these different items that are in here, I just hope that they're not copied from your website. So that's a critical piece, is that we don't want to create duplicate content on the internet, because if this is copied from your website and pasted here, that can create a problem at a certain point. Duplicate content penalty. I'll go ahead and save those edits. And then we're also missing some. We get done editing here. Some of the photos. So see how the main photo is missing here, and we have
You can go to the Manage Photos buttons, and it'll tell you exactly which ones you're missing. So you can see the.
So we have the logo here. We're missing the profile photo, the cover photo, and all these other photos: the interior, exterior of the building, photos of people working in the building, photos of the team, additional photos. And in each of these, we want to make sure that we have at least 3 different, or at least 3, and many more if possible. Holly's saying a couple things here that I wanted to highlight here. She said regarding the entrance, it's at the entrance of the parking lot currently. She says that I did my description during the seminar last week. Good job with that. And she also said that at some point the screen was a little blurry. Didn't he put in the info at LFOLA? So it comes to your email, and that is correct. We did put that address there, or that email address. So now your next step, Holly, is to put these other, I mean, you want to get all these photos filled out, so you definitely got to get that done. And when you're back at this screen here and adding the different preserves, she says, I have tons of photos to add in. I don't really want to add in the photos of all the inside buildings, as we are all about the preserves. Is that okay? Well, for that particular location, Holly, you want to have photos of the inside and outside of this location. All right, people at that location. So everything that's about this particular location should be posted to this particular location.
But
And then,
if you want to make it look more like the outside, the cover photo would portray that the best. So the cover photo is going to show up on Google. The other photos may not show up on Google, but you want to do the minimum amount for those interior photos. So just do 3 of those, but then you can make the whole rest of everything else outdoor photos.
that's right. So now down here, lower right, we have a plus button, and this is kind of like where the GYBO site takes you anyway. But you can click this little plus button, and it'll say import a location file or add a location. So as you've gathered your addresses, Holly, you can click this add a location, and then you can say, let's see, what is do I have? Everett Farm Nature Preserve. Okay, so we already have one in here. Do you see that when I search this? We have Everett Farm Nature Preserve, and it's on James Street. Let's see if that matches up with what's here. James Street. Let's see what this map has to say. Okay, so it's on North South James Court, West James Court. Here's James Street. This is the location it has in their system. It looks like there's already something set up here. It says claim this business. So there is something on the map for this. Let's just go back to the other screen I was just on a moment ago. So rather than creating a new, it looks like we're going to have to try and work with this. It's going to say, I'm authorized representative, manage this business on Google. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this since I'm logged in on your account here. Holly, if you could chat me the correct address. She just did it, so she's already reading my mind. The address for this, she said, yeah, she's worked hard getting those addresses. The address for this for Everett North Farm is officially now 1050 West James Street. So it says by mail, and then if I hit mail, they're going to try and send a postcard to James Street, and you know it's not going to get there. But that's where we have a solution for you. So I'm going to click on mail, and we'll go ahead and send the postcard. And what's neat is, now this should pull into your account once it loads. Okay, so here's the Everett Farm Nature Preserve. So this is pulled into this account, which is great because we want to manage it in here. And then we have a, there we go, verify. Oh, my business, which one is it? Trusted verifier. I'm trying to find. I have so many links in here now. Here it is, gybo.com/verify my business. So I will take that link and show you if I pop this in here, it'll automatically bring up this Google form, and it'll say expedited Google My Business verification. So I'm going to put Holly. Spell that right, Terry? MEKS?
Yep.
Okay. Business city, Lake Forest. Google username. That's going to be the info@lfola.org. Partner organization, you're going to put in Awesome Dynamic. Solutions Inc. I'll just put Awesome Dynamic too. I've done that a lot of times. And then contact email for your partner organization, paul@awesomedynamic.com. I am authorized, and then hit submit. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, oh, wait. Business name. Your business name is not Meeks. Okay, so the business name here, I messed up on this form. Holly Meeks is your name. Down here, this is where we need to put what it is you're trying to get verified. So here is manage the location. We're going to copy this exactly how it appears. And that's Lake Forest Open Lands, Everett Farm Nature Preserve. So I'm going to put that into this form exactly how it appears. And that's going to allow our contact Tim at Google to be able to instantly verify this and put it on your account. So this way you can get that address posted correctly. So I'm going to hit submit. All right, so that has gone through to him. So you'll get an email from Tim that will tell you that you need to, that, hey, we've instantly verified. He might have a question or two, but just tell him that you're working with us, you just secured addresses, you're trying to get those all updated, you're getting all these things under your account, but you just saw how we did this. So you're able to repeat this for all the different preserves that you have. We will have a video of this webinar, just so you know, since we're wrapping up the webinar anyway. I just want to show you where you can find those. So if you go to, right now they're, if you go to awesomedynamic.com, at the bottom of our screen you'll be able to see the YouTube link down here. Let's see, YouTube. And you see all of our, actually the webinar that's playing right now, it says live now. You'll be able to replay the webinar right here as an option. We also have it on awesomedynamicacademy.com. There's an option there to look at the webinars. But that's where you'll be able to watch this and rinse and repeat with those different items there. I also want to promote a couple other things since we're wrapping up this particular webinar. Upcoming webinars.
There's also a question from Holly on the way.
Oh, let's see what she has to say really quick here. Holly says, should I fill this out with your email and business name when I put the locations for the other preserves? Yes, those last two fields. The second to last field is Awesome Dynamic, and the last field is paul@awesomedynamic.com. So the top half is all stuff about you, and if you watch this webinar, the recording of this webinar, you can pause and see exactly what I put in all those different fields there, and the last two are information about Awesome Dynamic. Coming back to this, what I have on my screen here, our upcoming webinars. Our next one is going to be the 31st at 3 p.m. next week, so you're welcome to join us there. We do these every single week at either 3 p.m. or 12:30. If you're interested in being featured, you can reach out to Terry, Terry, at awesomedynamic.com. We'd be happy to feature your business or answer any questions if you give us some information ahead of time. Oh, Holly, here's another place you can watch the past webinars. So you can just come right here, click this button, you can see all the past webinars with all the great show notes that Blake is taking. We also have a review party, so learn how to get 5-star reviews on your business from your happy customers. That next one is coming up on April 20th. Which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. in McHenry at Furniture by John. You can also sign up for the Awesome List here to get information about our newsletter or upcoming events. You just put in your name and email address and sign up for that. And if you found any of this information valuable from our awesome staff here, at the bottom of our website here, click on the Review Us button. And it'll bring you over to our Google My Business page and leave us a 5-star review. Tell us a little story about how we were able to benefit your business, because we'd love to have that. Terry, any other sales plugs for the end of this webinar?
No, I was just going to say it's Furniture by Jason, where our
By Jason.
party will be, by the way, just to clear that up. And then I just wanted to say to Holly, because I know she's still probably with us, we had a couple other issues with her brand pages, a little more conversation about the phone numbers. We could either reach out to her or address those maybe next week if she wants to join us again and tackle some of those. But again, reach out to me, Terry at awesomedynamic.com with any questions. And please give us a 5-star review on Google. We'd appreciate it.
All right. You can see how some of this stuff takes some time to get done, right, Terry?
Absolutely.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us. We had quite a few folks join us this time, so thank you for joining us. If you would leave us that 5-star review, we'd really appreciate it. And have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.